There are a number of things today that happen that should be explored that have major prophetic implications to them. According to a Haaretz article, it was entitled Palestinians Offer to Renew Israel Peace Talks Without Settlement Freeze, Officials Say. The article states the Palestinian leadership submitted a proposal to renew peace talks with Israel that drops their long-standing demand that Israel ceases all West Bank settlement construction, a top Israeli official said on Wednesday. According to officials with knowledge of the proposal, the Palestinian Authority informed the quartet 2 weeks ago that it would renege on its demand for a settlement freeze if Israel releases 100 prisoners as a show of goodwill. The Palestinian proposal was reputedly the result of heavy pressure applied by quartet members, the United States, the European Union, Russia, and the United Nations, on Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas to renew talks before January 26th. That date marks the expiration of the 3 months specified by a quartet statement in September in which Israel and the Palestinians are to resume talks and present concrete proposals concerning issues such as borders and security arrangements. Quartet officials, especially EU, made it clear to the Palestinians that they would bear equal responsibility in the event that the two sides would not resume talks by late January. One Israeli official indicated that in the current situation, January 26 has become the new September, alluding to the PA's September submitting of their UN statehood bid, adding that everyone was waiting to see what Abbas's next move will be. There's real concern in the quartet that after that date Abbas will return to UN initiatives, the Israeli official said, adding that at the same time the Palestinian president will have to decide whether or not to proceed with the formation of a unity cabinet with Hamas. Well, right now Israeli officials are rejecting the offer at this time, it seems. One, because it seems to replace one precondition with another, and two, because it basically does not state whether the result of the prison release would lead to the resumption of full talks or indirect talks. In short, they felt the conditions were way too vague. Here are two headlines for the year 2012. One is, will 2012 be a record disaster year? And the second one is 2012, make or break year for the Eurozone. Regarding the first article, will 2012 be a record disaster year? As many of you know, 2011 was the worst year for world disasters in the history, in modern day history, I should say. In fact, the article starts out from floods that crippled countries to mega cyclones, huge blizzards, killer tornadoes to famine-inducing droughts. 2011 has been another record breaker for bad weather. The article continues by saying, while it is too early to predict what 2012 will be like, insurers and weather prediction agencies point to a clear trend. The world's weather is becoming more extreme and more costly. And that's exactly what the Bible says as we draw closer to the rapture of the church and the beginning of the tribulation period. The Bible says that the events of this world, including the weather, would act as birth pangs, becoming more intense and more numerous as we draw closer to the final days. That indeed has come to pass. Now, on the financial side of the coming days for 2012, this article out of the Economic Times states, the new year promises to be a make or break time for the Eurozone, with dramatic integration into a new fiscal union for most and predictions that one small country could leave the currency area. As 2011 comes to a close for European Union's symbol of integration, leaders of Germany, France, and debt-laden monetary partners face stark choices as they enter 2012, a decade after euro notes and coins first entered into everyday circulation. The euro debt crisis could bring all of Europe to its knees, said French President Nicolas Sarkozy in a recent speech reflecting on the contagion that spread from Greece through also bailed out Ireland and Portugal before hitting Spain and finally Italy. What kind of Europe will we have left if the euro disappears, if Europe's economic heart collapses, he asked. A radical transformation is underway precisely to avoid that doomsday scenario, one that would eventually blur differences even in tax and welfare systems across the core Eurozone economies. At the start of 2011, the troubles in Athens, Dublin, and Lisbon were considered peripheral problems for the Eurozone as a whole. But that was before infections at the edge of the currency area ate their way into its economic heart, all the way into France and even paymaster Germany, where the threat of a credit rating downgrade or poor take-up on the sale of government bonds served as a major wake-up call. The crisis has taken many forms since problems first emerged in the United States in late 2007. It affected mortgage markets, consumer spending, and the real economy for householders and businesses with recession, before finally triggering panic over government debt in a Europe whose banks had become overstretched. The coming 12 months will establish whether the Eurozone has the wherewithal to protect Italy or Spain from falling into a financial abyss that could suck in the second Eurozone economy, France. Although I do not believe that this European crisis will pull the world into an economic depression, it could be the catalyst that brings forth a world leader whose economic prowess will eventually pull the world back into stability. With all this said, is the year 2012 beginning to shape up as a year of destiny? Is the Lord about ready to rapture the church and to plunge the world into tribulation? Are you ready to meet the Lord? You know, whether or not the Lord comes today or tomorrow would have no bearing upon your life if you died tonight without Christ. I would like to invite you to take that step of faith and accept Jesus as Lord of your life today. Don't put it off, for tomorrow may be too late. This is Terry Malone with the Calvary Prophecy Report.